Still up in the club, popping bottles like bum. All the girls showing us love. We so fly, we still fly.
Next item I'm going to talk about is some flannel lined jeans. You'd be surprised how much warmer you feel, especially in colder weather, with some flannel lined jeans. Not only does it about double the thickness of the material, but the flannel tends to hold heat in really well and make you feel a lot more comfortable. Use some thermal underwear, and you may think, well, you know, I got various other shirts or layers I can put on, but thermal underwear tends to work quite well at conforming to your body a little closer and in effect providing another layer of insulation for you, even better than most forms of other clothes. So I would highly encourage someone to get some thermal underwear. These are some cheap pairs. If I had it to do over again, I'd buy some a little bit better quality. Not that these don't work, but I think the higher quality, tighter knit material would give you even better ability to maintain your warmth. Next item I want to talk about is some overalls. Now, there's a difference between overalls and coveralls. Coveralls are kind of the full body suit that you could put on. Overalls are the ones you step into. They don't have a top coat, but they kind of have the bib on the front, so some guys call them bib overalls. In any event, pretty common with farmers to use when they work out in the cow yard, and as it gets colder and colder, they'll step up their layers. So I bought these. This is kind of an off-brand called Workin' Sport. Not quite as good as Carhartt, but I won't be using them every day, so I figured I could cheap out a little bit in that respect. The duck material is a fairly tight weave, helps protect the user from heat loss, insulated lining. You can buy these a little bit bigger. It's not imperative that your outside layer are as tight as the inside layers, like we talked about with the thermal underwear. The reason I buy these a little bit big, and that was at the advice of my brother-in-law who's a farmer, is you can remove them or put them on a lot easier if they're just a little bit bigger. So these I might leave in the car until I'm out at the field to get into. And the last item I'll talk about is your coat. Don't go out in 10 or 0 degree Fahrenheit weather with a thin little leather jacket or a canvas jacket and expect to be warm. Need a thicker coat, something with a lot of filling to help maintain your warmth. The jacket I have kind of adjusts in the waist area to draw it in to help conserve a little more warmth. This is a really old jacket. I'm not wearing my nice jacket out to the flying field and potentially getting it all dirty from my helicopters and all the various oils and whatnot involved with them. So this was actually a jacket my wife was going to throw out because she thought it was too nasty. And of course I had to yell at her and tell her to keep it because I'm going to use it. So in any event, if you don't have a jacket like this, thick, ski type jacket or, an outdoors type jacket, you could try going to like a secondhand store, Salvation Army, Goodwill. Sometimes you'll find something like that over there. If you're worried about it being dirty from someone else, take it to the dry cleaner, spend 10 or 15 bucks to get it cleaned. But don't go out and buy a $100 or $200 jacket to go out and fly. You can usually find these pretty cheap. And you don't need anything super fancy, and if it's got a little rips and tears in it, no big deal. You just want something utilitarian to use while you're at the field, and again, don't wear your good jacket out to the field. But the more important thing is getting something thick that's going to keep you warm. Alright, in closing, I wanted to mention a few other things. Specifically, how warm do you know you need to dress in order to maintain your comfort level? Well, that's where layers become important. Generally what I'll notice is that I need to add at least 2 to 3 layers from where I'm comfortable outside at my home to be comfortable at the field. Meaning, I might be loading up my car and I might have, obviously my jeans, or if it's cold enough, the thermal underwear on, a shirt, top thermal underwear, a hat, maybe gloves on. and I may be comfortable loading up the car. By the time I get to the field, I'm going to be out in the elements a little more. The wind's hitting you a little more when you're out in the open. And for whatever reason, our field tends to be a little bit colder than around my house. Excuse me. I tend to need to add some layers. So that's where, depending on how cold it is, you may want to bring some extra sweaters or light jackets to wear over yourself before you put on your final coat. And if it's cold enough, again, those bib overalls, a second hat, and so on and so forth. So the takeaway point is, just because you're comfortable loading the car up doesn't mean you're going to be comfortable at the field. Please bring extra clothes, so by the time you get out there and you're going to be out there for a half hour, or however long you're going to be out there, you're going to be comfortable. It's no fun being out there for 5 or 10 minutes and then getting so cold you got to go sit in the car for half hour just to warm up. The trick is you want to almost be uncomfortably warm in order to maintain the warmth to your limbs, keep your hands and feet warm, so on and so forth. So, some trial and error is in order in that respect, but hopefully the tips will help you guys out to tolerate at least the cold weather flying, and hopefully enjoy it as well. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions, please ask us, but have a good day. Thanks.